I have no idea that one is true. Hi everyone, can you hear me? I have no idea. I think people just come to this live, not the other one. How can I delete that one? Oh no. No. Oh, it's been a while to do this.
Hello, so, Kim. Hello, Pam.
Can you hear me?
Please say hello if you can hear us.
I think that one is right. Okay. Can you hear me? Please write.
Please say something. Please.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Nobody's saying anything.
Wow. Is there something wrong? Okay. Glad that you too. Yes, I can hear. Thank you so much, Absurd Alien Island.
Oh, I see. It says the video has been removed, so I think it is a different chat now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so let me start over again. Let's see. Okay.
I think the people are
live.
Yeah, people are confused.
Okay. Yes. Okay. I see. Good day. Must be from Australia.
Who?
The person who wrote Absurd Alien.
I see.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, Marco. Same questions.
Marco, do you just copy and paste from every chat?
I think so.
Okay. Hi, Ken. Hi, Jonathan. Great.
Hi, Ken and Jonathan. Howard here. Yes. I'm so happy to see you guys virtually, actually.
Eunhee has checked in.
Ken, hello, Ken. And I can see both of you. Major 7th. Okay, here we are. Nice to meet you. Let's wait 5 more minutes. I think my viewers are confused with my live streaming link. I was confusing as well, and I figured out the way that I can live streaming with the case Lartigue here. But I have no idea. It's been a while to do my YouTube.
Actually, I've never done a YouTube live. I'm not even sure what I would do with it.
Well, actually, I do with my phone, so I have no idea with my laptop.
Wait, have I done a YouTube live? I have, actually, when we have the raffle. Never mind.
I see. Live streaming?
Right.
Okay.
Yes, okay.
Hi, everyone. Happy Chuseok, Mazer. Yeah, it's a little bit.
There we are.
For me, it's a Chuseok. What are you going to do for Chuseok?
I'm going to work. Because no one will be in the office, and I'm just going to work. So,
no, please take a rest.
Well, because usually when I'm at the office, hey, can you check this? Can you check that? What about this? And especially when Eunhee is here.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I can't relax. Always, can you sign this? Can you check this? What about this? What about that? So finally, silence.
So you can,
I can work.
Take a break.
Yes. Well,
you can do kickback.
Yes.
Hi, Pam. And Marco Belcastro, I don't know, that's about Kim Jong-un's question. Before asking the Q&A, I want to share the fundraising part and my agency process. That is the priority that I have to share with all of you. And I think 5 minutes. Should we start?
Whenever you're ready, yes.
Okay. So people just who join lately will see this video later.
Right. And for those of you who are there, if you have questions, please type them in.
Yeah.
And if we missed the question, do like Marco, post it again. and again.
He kept asking about double body. I never thought about that. As actually. Okay, guys, thank you for joining with our live streaming. I think I'm first time.
Right?
Yeah, by my YouTube channel, and it's actually Casey and Eunhee's idea. So I was a little bit, I don't know.
Well, actually, it was Eunhee's idea. I came back to the office and she said, "Oh, I think you should do a YouTube live with Eunhee." I said,
why not? We have lots of things to share with all of you. Kathleen Moore, welcome to my channel. And it's very, I think I can say it's been a while to do this YouTube with all of you. And I'm so happy to start again. And okay, all of you might wonder about my the agency and the United States things. I think more than 1,000 viewers watch my video. I asked about help to go to United States. So as you read my note, I explained 3 reasons why I want to go, and 34 people donated. So I raised, yay! I raised $4,200 for 7 days. I really appreciate. So I wanna announce the donors with all of you.
Maybe first names only. Some people might not want their full
name.
Yeah,
right. Yeah. So John Michael. I think John Michael is the first person to donate by PayPal, and what the beautiful message is, which makes me cry actually. In the morning I cried a lot. And Mike Correls, yeah, and it's I apologize my pronounce of name. It's a little bit hard.
Some of them I don't even know how to pronounce, so it's okay.
Yeah, and Ken Stewart, and Lorenzo Eddie. Thank you so much. Owen, Mark Owen.
Okay, but some people I think only one name, because if some people don't want their names announced.
Okay. Yeah. So John.
Okay.
And
we do John P.
Yeah, John many John. So John P. And John V. And Carlos, actually from Australia, that I met in Melbourne with a heartwarming message. And Kevin and Michael and Cynthia and below 100. Okay. It's the name of the the donor, but he didn't give me the proper name. So and Ray and Evan, Cynthia Wood, who is the donor of FSI as well, and Christopher, Michael, Anthony, and John E, and Lynn, and Gerardo, and Stephen, Bent, Glenn.
Actually, I think it's Brent.
Brent?
Is Brent?
Brent, okay. I'm sorry. And Leon, Elizabeth, and Rachel. And Rachel, and Jack. Okay. And John C, and Gallery of Witches. Yeah, but not proper name. And Christina, Brian, Jody. And I really appreciate that 30. And then also I have to show this is from Mr. Casey Lartigue, and he wants to be on the list today. Like I needed something to give you, and then as a surprise, and I got it. I really appreciate. Sure, right. And so that's why 34 people donated for $4,200, and I really appreciate to my donors. And with I don't know, it's not about the money. It's about their heart and generosity and sacrifice for just one of the normal girl who live in South Korea and struggling to figure out my vision and my goal. And I feel I'm not alone anymore. And I wish I could share this moment with my grandparents who raised me with an unlimited love, and how much I want to share this world, how much so beautiful people like all of you. So thank you again. And as I mentioned in the video, I'm gonna offer more than what I received and obtained from people like you guys to the world. So first of all, thank you so much to join with me in this live streaming, and we have so many things to share.
Yes, right. Sure.
And please introduce yourself to my viewers.
All right. So I'm Casey Lartigue, co-founder, co-president of Freedom Speakers International. I am an American living and working here in Seoul, Korea. We started this little organization 8 years ago. And the main thing we do is to empower North Korean refugees who want to engage in public speaking. We used to have a very popular tutoring program, but we suspended it because of COVID. But we've had so many refugees who want us to bring it back that we are trying to figure out. We're trying to raise some money actually to do that. And one of the people is Eunhee. Eunhee refuses to accept our new name. She still says TNKR.
Yeah.
Okay. And other refugees are still like, no, it's TNKR. So teach North Korean refugees. And so, but we had a number of refugees who said they want us to bring back our old program. So we're raising money now so we can do that in the future. But I mean, I can talk for like an hour about what I'm doing.
TNKR, what you are doing with for North Korean defectors. Actually, I joined in 2015, April. I vividly remember that moment, how much I was just so excited to learn English, which I was dreaming about all the time since I came to South Korea. And I am here to speak in English with my co-founder.
Yes, well, for those of you who don't know, so Eunhee, so you escaped and arrived here in 2012 and joined our organization in 2015. Actually, we were not an organization then, we were just joining.
I know.
But at that time, she was an ABC level speaker of English. And when we took the photo at the end of the session, she refused to be in the photo. So
like that.
Yes, and she didn't use her name. You had a different name at that time because, as I recall, you were not proud to be from North Korea. You had not had good things happen related to it. But now, I mean, here she is hosting a YouTube live in English. But 6 years ago, ABC level. But I like to say she's gone from ABC to TED. So she gave a TEDx talk 3 years ago. And yeah, just a different person from when I first met. As I like to say, it's like my dog is talking to me. So 6 years ago, she couldn't speak English. And now here she is, like even YouTube live.
I'm still learning English. It's not my mother tongue. So it's not easy to express what I think rather than, speak Korean. But I'm good at communication. It's enough to communicate with the people, and I'm grateful that I met TNKR. Now it's as FSI, Freedom Speakers International. And actually, do you remember there was a Sherry translate for me because I couldn't I couldn't express what I'm thinking and what I want to share with the Casey. But now I don't need the Sherry anymore. I'm sorry.
Well, we need Sherry.
No, I mean it's at the conversation.
I know.
But I need the Sherry in my life.
Yes, exactly. So,
she's a wonderful woman.
Right. But you know what? Why don't we just take some of the questions also,
okay.
Because otherwise they might start to disappear.
Yeah.
So I'm going to scroll up.
Thank you everyone for joining this live streaming. I think it's about the Kim Jong-un and everybody.
Okay. You can answer that later on.
Yeah, it's people just say hello and good to see both of you. If you have any question about my plan, what you saw from video, or about North Korea, just comment below, please.
Well, Donna, one of our volunteers and donors and one of your good friends also, asked if you could send the link to your fundraiser. I think it's at PayPal.
Right? Yeah, PayPal. So, I don't have the other option, so I'm sorry to guys. Some of you asked me with the other link that they can donate, but it's a GoFundMe or so. It's not for me because GoFundMe has only allowed to set up their fundraising, but it's just by given the certain countries. But unfortunately, it's not in Korea, so I cannot do that. only thing that I can get raised the money by PayPal.
Okay, and I'll announce, maybe some of you don't know, but a lot of the fundraising platforms have cracked down. Obviously, there's some bad people out in the world, and they've had to limit it to certain countries. And Korea is not on the list, but this is GoFundMe, Facebook fundraisers. If you want to set up a Facebook fundraiser, for example, to support our organization, you can do it. If you're in the USA, I think in Canada, maybe the UK. So only certain countries will allow this kind of fundraising as an individual, or even in our case as an organization. We can't just fundraise everywhere. So those of you who are in the US, if you want to support us, if you want to support Eunhee, you can set up a fundraiser if you are in one of those countries, and then just make sure that you'll send the money to her. If you do it to us as an organization, we will get the money, obviously. But if you do it on behalf of an individual, then you'd have to send the money to her.
Yeah, can ask how does the agency work?
Okay.
So I'm very happy to share this news that I found the right agency to go to the United States. And I think about 10 days, I was looking for the agency to work with for the process of United States with the J1 visa, so which I can work in the United States with just minimum wage. And so they started their business from 1980, and name is Intrux, which is based on San Francisco. And I sent my documents, and it's a time maybe after Chuseok, I will send my the cost that they need. So $500 at a first time I have to pay, and then after that, if they give me the job offers, I have to pay the rest of money. So now I found it, and I'm gonna work with them.
Okay, and then one person said that GoFundMe doesn't like political stuff, but actually it's not even about political. It's about
only certain countries. Yeah, right.
Right. So it's not, non-political organizations in South Korea cannot do fundraising through GoFundMe either. So it's not about politics. And then when do you graduate?
In 2022. So it's my last semester, my what is the middle exam and final exam. My final exam is in December, and then I will completed all the credits what I have to take the classes for graduation, and the graduation ceremony will be in February next year, but I don't want to wait because of the graduation ceremony. That's why I plan to go to United States in January. Yep. So I'm so excited that I'm gonna graduate, and I completed for my degree.
Wow.
Oh my God, how time flies.
You know what? Okay, so I remember when you talked about going to a university and applying, and you made it, and now I feel like 4 years have gone by already. Oh my goodness. So okay, anyway, you did it.
Yeah. Hi, John. I remember John Michael is the first person who donated for my process of United States. Good to see you here. And I sent you email yesterday and hope you read it, and cannot wait to see you in next year.
Okay, so you have a question here. Major says that looks like you went to the US in 2019. Okay, you are a traveler.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can talk about that.
I think I went to LA in 2019 because I had so lucky to be a scholarship student by the NGO named 물망쳐. So I attended in the English course for 2 months. That's why I went there. But this time I go to United States to work at the corporations that I can apply the pieces of knowledge what I learned from university, and then started my new career as a marketer. Yeah, my major is business administration. So apply for the internship in marketing and logistics and sales and consulting area.
Okay. Here's a great question. Okay, the work that FSI does is truly inspiring. Thank you so much. Uh, Dear Mr. Lartigue, thank you for that. If I may ask, what are your thoughts about another organization, PS Core? Okay, I don't know nothing about any other organizations. Okay, so I don't follow them. I don't keep track of their activities. I focus on what we do. You can never really know another organization unless you are on the inside. You can't even know it by just looking at their Facebook page. Now, so first of all, that's the context that I don't follow. We have partnered with PS Core, especially around the Hwang In-chul case. His father was on an airplane that was hijacked in North Korea in 1969. You can look it up, YS11. And I'm the co-chair of the committee to raise awareness about that case. So PS Core, they do some good work, I'm sure. At least we partnered with them about that. But I only talk about FSI. So because I don't also want any of my comments to be misinterpreted as any kind of attack on anybody. So yeah, just FSI. FSI has had almost 500 North Korean refugees study in our program, study public speaking, English, and also career development. And we do so much great work. Our website is fsi21.org, fsi21.org, or you can still see our old website, which is lovetnkr.org. And Deputy Eunhee, I hope you will type in our
link.
Link to our website so people can know where they can find more information. So, okay. And then
Gabriel, I want to add the work that the FSI organization does is truly inspiring. I can 100%. In 2015, the girl who is from North Korea had no idea where I had to. She has to learn English, and then one of my friends suggested that TNKR, which is the organization, teach English for North Country factors without paying. And I figured out, wow, that is a very inspiring organization. Why just give it a shot to learn English with the volunteer teachers. So that's why in 2015, in April, I joined with TNKR and started learning English with the volunteer teachers. I think I remember three people. So one is Korean American that I could, because my level was ABC, so I needed to speak a little bit in Korean that I can understand more about the grammars and the sentences. And it's FSI is not only learning English, but also see the world, what is more out there, except my area, so that I can see more bigger world with the different people who have different backgrounds, who has generosity to share their abilities and the skills with the North Country factors. That's why I'm here to share all of my stories with the world. So 100%, it's inspiring organization.
Wow. It's so moving. I mean, you started an organization. Actually, we didn't start an organization. We just started doing it in 2013. It's incredible to hear, someone in your organization talk so movingly. I wish more people could have that kind of experience, that you start something and that the people who join up with you really love what you're doing and respect and will speak on your behalf. So thank you so much.
It's my pleasure to share all the true stories with people, in the world.
Okay, I'll tell you how good we are. Even people who don't like me will recommend people to join the organization. So that's how good we are. Okay, so.
And Donna asked me, where in the US do you want to go most? How long will you be in the US? I'm thinking to go to East part.
East Coast.
East Coast. But depends on the job offer. So mostly I want to go to East Coast and California. I love California with the perfect weather that I really like. And how long? J1 visa provide only per year, 1 year. So I have to figure out. Yeah, but per year, it's just given period.
Okay, thank you, Ingrid, for posting the link there to what we do. Oh, you have to approve it. I see.
Um,
Okay, great. Okay, yeah, I see
okay.
it's there. Okay, yeah. Ingrid is one of our really active volunteers, especially helping out with our Instagram account.
Mhm.
Because when I was running Instagram, nothing was happening. So thanks to Ingrid for taking that over. And please find us on Instagram. And I just want to mention one thing about Eunhee. So as I said, she's a traveler. I got a Facebook notification yesterday about Eunhee Park being in Australia. But at that time, she did it a little bit differently. She just basically hopped on an airplane and went to Australia without any real strategy. But I think, of course, it takes courage to go to a different country. But you're going to the U.S., but Eunhee will be around the world. So the U.S. is like the next destination for her. But yeah, you'll be in other places, I'm sure. I'm never surprised.
I can survive in anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, and actually, I just mentioned that 5 or 6 years ago, even though her English was not that strong, she was saying that she wanted to see the world. So yeah, she is.
Yeah, it's time to explore the world because I'm gonna complete my degree in 2022. So yeah, it's the right time to move on.
Yes. Okay. All right. And then, Brent. Okay, go ahead. I see Brent says looks like a bunch of North Koreans have moved to Chicago. So Sherry, Eunhee, Evelyn. So.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, at least a couple of them are there. So yeah, that's true.
So,
and all connected with us also.
And Marco.
Okay.
Castro.
Okay, Marco, we're gonna have like the drum roll.
Yeah,
Marco really wants the question answered. Okay.
So my question: do you believe that DPRK is hiding the fact that Kim Jong Un is really sick, and the thin Kim Jong Un is a cover story for Western media? Why it doesn't matter for you? I want to ask this question: why this is matter for you? Like when the newspaper or media publish about Kim Jong Un, you have to figure out the facts and then the reason why they publish this story. They want to make money. They want you to make a clip to raise their financial situation. And if you focus on the Kim Jong Un's news, you cannot see real North Korean story. So that's my opinion, and I don't care whether Kim Jong Un is okay and whether Kim Jong Un is sick. I don't care about him. I care about my people. That's my answer.
Well, in my case, I'm old enough to remember when Kim Il Sung was alive. Okay, you were just a baby then, but Kim Il Sung died in 1994, and when he died, people were saying that North Korea cannot survive as a country. And then Kim Jong-il became the leader, and people said, it's going to collapse in 5 to 7 years. And he died of natural causes, I think 17 years later, 19 years later. And then his son took over as the leader of the country, and people said North Korea cannot survive. Okay? So it doesn't really matter who's the leader of North Korea. It is a killing, nuclear bomb making machine. Okay, so who is the particular leader at one particular time doesn't really matter. Okay, they'll put up a body double. Who knows what else they'll do? So, but it's just it's a country. It's a machine. So it doesn't really matter.
I just want people, if you who are caring about North Korea, just to figure out what you can contribute for North Korea right now, not 5 years later, not like in the future. And what happens after he dies? I don't know. Maybe North Koreans want to be free or the other dictator, but I want to figure out what I can make the situation after he died and then after reunification, so North Korean people can find the right place to fit in this society. That's why I want to see and I want to explore the world to make a better situation, better world, better environment for my people in the future. So I just want to focus right now what I can do with my, the ability, not about the future.
Yes. Okay. All right, someone just signed up with PS Core, and please. All right, FSI will also be an option. Oh my goodness, great question, Mr. Lartigue. What has been your most gratifying moment with FSI? Oh my goodness. Okay, I need 1 hour. Actually several things. So first I'll start with Eunhee Park. I mean, Eunhee Park, I was the mentor for her when she gave the big international speech that's gotten whatever, hundreds of millions of views. And I remember working with her. And after our first speech together, I told her she's going to become an international spokesperson. And she's like, what are you talking about? And I said, you're it. I mean, you're going to do it. And let's work together and see what's possible. Mm-hmm. Now, of course, she's gotten much bigger than I would ever get. And some people think that I was like controlling her. And I was like, oh my goodness, you think I can control Eunhee Park? I mean, she's an independent woman and she goes her own way, but she'll work with people who, if it's something good. Then, of course, there's Eunhee Park. In that case, it was the TEDx talk that she gave. So I was asked by a TED organizer if I could recommend a North Korean refugee. And of course, said, what about Eunhee? And so Eunhee gave a wonderful speech. But I remember the moment that I was handing the microphone to her. I was the MC. And I'm handing the microphone to her. And of course, I can remember 3 years before that she was at the ABC level. And here she is giving a TEDx talk, no notes. Okay. So she just practiced, and then memorized the speech and just gave up. I went on stage and just gave a fantastic speech. And that's just one of those moments. It's just like, wow, I'll never forget this. And of course, we've had other students in our program. I mean, like now, Sherry's now starting to get known. So we were trying to help her with her YouTube channel, and she had, I don't know, like 200 subscribers and then 300. And now I just checked, it's like 8,000. Okay, I can't do that. All right, but she also gave a TEDx talk. I was also asked to recommend a refugee to give a talk in the UK and recommended Sherry. And Eunhee and I went to the UK and she's on the stage and it's like, wow. So it's just great. But I want to be clear, it's not only the public speakers. We have so many refugees who studied with us, who've got jobs, who have improved their lives, who just say that we made a big difference. One refugee asked me recently if I could help her write her story, and that she thought that I was the only person in the world who could do it. Okay, I better stop. Too many. Yeah, just too many.
You can share as much as you want. Well, it's your time.
Yes, yeah, but it's your channel, and I didn't want to hear just about that. So, but anyway, it's just great working with people who are really motivated and either want to improve themselves in some way, or just want to give a speech, or just practice public speaking. Whatever it is, we want to partner with them and empower them to get to that point. So,
is there? I just wonder, how do you manage the finance situation as an NGO? I know it's very tough.
Right. Well, we mainly rely on donations. And we do that so that, I think we should turn this on actually. Okay, so we do that so that we can remain independent. So when you get funding from an organization, of course, they want to have some input in your programming. They want to give you some advice or withhold the money. And I've worked with a number of organizations over the years. And for me, it's important that to be able to maintain that independence. So I was on the board of directors of the Black Alliance for Educational Options, and the chairman, radical from the 1960s. I mean, just incredible person. I remember that an organization told us that they would give us support if we could do some political things. And again, he's old style Black man, 1960s, and he said, you know what? Wait, can I curse on your channel?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Okay? All right, okay, it's your channel. I have to respect it. And he said, look, we got shit done before we met you. So if you want to help us, we will appreciate it. But if you don't, we're still going to get stuff done. And it was a moment that really made me realize that it's important to maintain your independence. So when we first started this, Eunhee and I were the ones who put the money in it. Mm-hmm. And then to become an official organization, we're the ones who put the money in it. But of course, I mean, I'm not rich. Eunhoo's not rich. So we just went online and asked people to support us. And so that's what we do. Now, of course, because of North Korean refugees talking about us, some organizations have tried to give us some minimal support. May need to shut them up, which is, but we mainly rely on the individuals who support us.
So I want to say to the Marco who asked me about Kim Jong-un consistently, if you are interested to help North Koreans, please donate to this organization, which is making the impact to the world with North Korean refugees. That is the way you can do for North Korea instead of focusing on Kim Jong-un, who is just like a dictatorship who needs attention from the world. So please go find the FSI link and then donate and help.
LoveTNCare.org, FSI21.org.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I don't know. It's casual observer. Nice to meet you. And don't be sorry. You just I'm so happy you joined with my live streaming with Casey Lartigue. And how is the fundraising going? I explained in the first time when I started this talking about the North Korea. And if I repeat a little bit, I found the right agency and I was raised $4,200 from 34 donors. I really appreciate. And now I can pay the part of the agency cost. And I wish I could share this moment with my grandmother and my grandfather. I want to show this beautiful world how much I'm grateful with the people like all of donors. Yeah.
I see so many. Okay, Ji Sung Ho. Actually, we partnered with G. So we started. There's a question from Gabrielle about supporting organizations, and she found her passion is with Ji Sung Ho's group now, which also I met Ji Sung Ho the first time in 2010 during a trip to South Korea. And actually, we helped them with one of the speeches that he gave. And our second session for North Korean refugees to study English was with NOW back in 2013. So, yeah, actually, we have a good relationship with their organization and respect what they're doing.
Gabrielle donated $2,000 and even made videos.
Okay, hey, Gabrielle, FSI21.org, LoveTNCare.org. Okay, all right, $2,000 would be really useful for us. Okay.
And I just want to talk about why I really wanted English with TNKR, which the FSI now. Actually, if I give you the little bit about the details why I'm really fascinated to learn English, the reason is that in my hometown there are lots of travelers who looks like totally different from people that I used to see every day in my life, and they speak English, and I noticed that. I can speak hi and nice to meet you with them. It gave me the moment, like in the future, if it is possible, I want to learn English and then communicate with people who have big noses and big eyes, which makes me surprising when I was young in my hometown. And the second reason is that in South Korea, since I escaped, I was very criticized by people a lot because of my background as a North Korean defector. Even though I show my ability that I can work at the corporation and work, they criticized my background at the first time. They didn't want to even see my skills, what I can deliver to the company. That made me think about what if I learn English and then show my ability to people. Even though I'm from North Korea, I can do better than most South Koreans who learn English about 10 years and then couldn't speak any English. That's why that was my idea to learn English. And of course, back then in North Korea, my dad wanted me get married with a Western man when he saw the travelers in Wonsan, which is located on the east coast of North Korea. It's my hometown, and start my brain. It's kind of like a family brainwashing for me. So I want to see the world, and I want to talk with the people who have different backgrounds. So these types of three reasons why I started learning English, and then fascinated to work with TNKR.
See, she won't let go of TNKR. Just like I said.
And it was very surprising when I met you at the first time. Who is the one that I learned about America as an American pastor.
Yes,
and even that's very. I don't want you to think of this in a negative way, but I thought Americans are just all white because I never exposed myself to see the world, the Western people. And I thought, all Americans are just white. That's what I learned in North Korea. And when I saw the Casey, wow, he's black. Is he American or is he just from the other country? And it makes me surprising that, the American pastor where I learned in North Korea shares the generosity with North Korean defectors that can survive in South Korea easily. Yeah.
Okay. So many things.
So many things
to talk about. Yeah, actually, we've had some North Korean refugees who come to us. We had one. I feel like I'm cursing so much today, but one who said that after studying with us, she realized that not all Americans are assholes. That when she was in North Korea, she was taught that Americans just kill for fun and just want to hurt other people. And then here she is. She joined this organization. First of all, an American, co-founder, and then.
Thank you so much, Catcher.
Yes,
observer.
All right, well, you're not an observer anymore. You're a doer now.
Yeah, right. Maybe you change your name. I am doer. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. But we've had a number of refugees who said that, actually we had one funny one. So she was saying that, of course, again, when she was in North Korea, she just learned that Americans were terrible. And then she joined our organization, and she had her first tutoring session with an American, and she said she was just looking at him like, oh, really? Oh, I'm really with one of them now. But that the American was just so nice and just took so much time to make sure that she learned English. And it's just one of those moments, she's like, I can't believe I listened to all that propaganda. Now, of course, not all Americans are great. Please don't start the chat with, Americans are killers or whatever. So there are some. Okay. But anyway, it can actually have an impact on people. And then one more thing I want to mention about that Eunhee. I've seen a couple of people saying hello to Eunhee. Eunhee Lee is co-founder and co-president, but she's the lady behind the scenes. And so if you ever heard, Margaret Thatcher was the prime minister of the UK. And she said, if you want an opinion, ask a man. If you want something done, ask a woman. That's the way it is in FSI. If you want an opinion, I have many. If you want to get something done, contact Eunhee. Okay. Now, Eunhee is the one who talks with the refugees in Korean to make sure that they understand things, what we're trying to do. But one thing a lot of refugees have talked about is something that Eunhee has just mentioned, that learning English is actually part of their finding themselves, their identity as individuals, doing something on their own and being able to contact and talk with people around the world, that they no longer have to think only about South Korea as a country, that they can do like Eunhee, go to a different country, experience a different part of the world and meet different people. So actually it is really important. And of course, if they want to speak out and tell their stories, that they can do so.
Okay, so Gabriel said, Mr. Lartigue, I promise I will help you in any way I can. I'm even learning Korean. I'll go hell and back in order to fight for your people. Thank you very much. And John, actually John Michael, asked, what are the future plans for FSI?
Wow. Okay, so the future plans are the same plans. we talk with North Korean refugees. We hear what it is that they would like to achieve, and then we try to work with them on that. So when we first started in 2013, it was just that refugees are saying that they need English and that they want to be able to tell their stories and to talk with people around the world. So we developed programming around that. And then we heard other things, and then we developed around that also. So the future plan is the same plan. One reason that we're thinking about bringing back one reason that we are trying to raise money to bring back our tutoring program is because we still have North Korean refugees contacting us. They say that they've tried other places, but they just had a unique experience with us. And, can we please bring it back? Then we have refugees like Eunhee who won't let go of TNKR, that no matter how much we try, as she remembers those days. So our plan is to keep working with the people directly. And I'll mention one thing about it. So when we first started, I told Eunhee that we are not going to benchmark any other programs. We're going to talk to the people who come to us, find out how we can partner with them, and then work with them on that. Okay, now, having said all that as a background, we're working on 5 books with 5 different North Korean refugees are working on books, and 3 of them are now in almost like the final stage. Of course, conferences highlighting North Korean refugees. So we have a conference planned for November 27th, and Tae Young-ho is going to be one of the featured speakers, by the way, but there'll be other diplomats there. And then we have 3 authors that will be presenting in February of next year. So events, books, speeches, any way we can help refugees with speaking out and telling their stories, but we're more like getting them prepared. So there are bigger organizations, there are YouTubers who have much greater influence than we do. So we can just help them get prepared for the opportunities, then that's okay. Donations are coming in now. Great. Okay.
Sylvan, right? Sylvan. I apologize to pronounce your name. Sylvan, and thank you very much. And Gabrielle, thank you. I think from Europe, right?
Okay, well, you should learn if you want me to stop talking, send money. So, okay, thank you for supporting Eunhee so she can get to $6,000.
Cute emoticon. Okay. Thank you. It will be very helpful for my agent's costs, and I really appreciate all of you.
Okay, and then Kathleen. So you have an amazing spirit, Eunhee, and that is true. Okay, other than learning English, what else have you learned from your experience at FSI that you will use in the US? So what else have you learned from us?
For me, is sharing and sharing my ability with others. That's what I learned from FSI, and also like English, of course. But what is the important part is, sharing is the most important factor that I can contribute to the world, and make me drive my goal to help others who need my help. Yeah, that's what I learned from FSI.
Okay, and then Roger, also one of our supporters, says, where can he find your PayPal? Eunhee is not hidden. She's on Facebook, Instagram, so you can message her. You can message me. I can also send you the link.
You can find my PayPal link at the video that I posted recently, and just 2 links that I shared, so you can find it. And thank you.
Well, I think I have a new friend today. Gabrielle says, please do not stop talking, Mr. Lartigue. You have such a beautiful voice.
Sure.
Well, great. Okay. All I can say is thank you.
And then someone as the happy Chuseok holiday, Casey. Smile.
Okay. All right.
Thank you for your greeting. It's a happy Chuseok, like a Thanksgiving kind of version of American holiday in Korea?
Yeah, I mean, it's always tough to compare across countries, but people will say that it is the Korean equivalent of American Thanksgiving. But, obviously different countries develop different ways. But yeah, 3-day holiday, families getting together. Yeah.
But it's a little bit sad.
Mm.
It's if I share this story, and now I'm so happy that I
Mm.
share and I am here with the Casey Lartigue and then to talk about my life and FSI with all of you. Maybe if I'm alone, I'm gonna be very sad because that the Chuseok means gathering family members together. And since I escaped, there is no one around me as a family member, and I hate to face this Chuseok holiday. Actually, still I hate, but not like extremely hate what I felt before, but still like something emptiness and loneliness. But now I know how to find the alternative way that I can enjoy my holiday in Korea. Most North Korean defectors who came to South Korea alone, they are struggling to spend the Chuseok, which is very longest holidays in Korea. Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm happy here with all of you virtually. Thank you for giving me this holiday moments.
Okay.
And
What does freedom mean to you? Oh, I love your talk on what does freedom mean to you? How hard was it to prepare for that talk, the conference we had in April of this year? Thank you for watching, by the way.
Thank you. John is the very biggest fan of me, I guess. Thank you. I think the part about the TV show, like all of them are like a TV show because money is very important to lead your life every day. And but for me, giving up the money instead of for finding my freedom is the most part. And then remind that moment that I wanna remember was the biggest and then hardest part. If I answer about your question, because I knew North Korean defectors are somehow are exploited a lot by people who wanna use our just stories, not like a focus on the human, instead of caring each other, such as like journalists, and they just obtain all the stories that they want to publish and stop talking, stop contacting. It's a very hurt, but also the media people as well. But I needed money to feed myself and to do study for my university. But stopping that, the factor that I can make money for my life was hard. But I'm so happy that I have done and find the other way that I can live in a way who I am.
Yes. So actually, we talked about it around that time. But I mean, when she was thinking about quitting the TV show, now we have a good enough relationship that we can disagree sometimes. And I'm like, "Are you sure you want to leave the show?" And she's like, "Yes." I mean, that was a final decision. Because it's like, oh, you're a TV personality, maybe it would be, but but I understand because I went through my own experience. 7 years ago, I had offers to go back to the USA, my own programming and my own staff, and I don't have to do any of this online fundraising. Just big salary comes in automatically. So, but I had to make a decision about what was valuable to me, and what was valuable to me was creating this new organization and the people who were joining us and the opportunity that was presenting for people. So I understand why you did it.
Because there is the other reason that I cannot progress my life with that just past story that I don't want to remember. Instead of spending the time just talking about my past. I want to spend the time that I can develop my life for the future rather than just stick in the past.
Right. Yeah. But that's the funny thing about life. If you're known for something, people want to hear that. And they don't want you to develop. And it's not just about North Korean refugees. For example, like the singer Prince, my favorite singer, sorry, he passed away. He got tired of singing the song that from 1984 or 1983 or whatever, Purple Rain. He wanted to move on to the next level. He wanted to make new music, not just keep going back to his old music. And I hear that from North Korean refugees. It's like, yeah, that was part of my life, but I want to move forward. But I want to be clear, in our organization, unlike the TV show, and I'm not criticizing the TV show, they have their own thing, they do it their own way, okay? But in our case, whatever it is that the North Korean refugees want to talk about, we want to help them with that. So we're not trying to tell them you should talk about this or you should talk about that. We want them, in fact, to write their speeches in Korean at first, get out whatever it is that they want to say, and then we'll translate it, and then we'll find volunteers who can help them with developing their speeches, but make sure that they maintain their independence and make sure that they keep focused on what it is they want to say. So I think with a lot of with the TV show, I mean, they want to go in a certain direction. They want you to keep going back to those stories from the past, even if people don't really want it. So, and again, they have their own way. I mean, you know, there are some good benefits to the TV show, by the way. It's not always as bad. I mean, some people learned about North Korean refugees. Some people saw them as regular people. Okay, anyway, just saw them as regular people that, wow, they're not aliens. All right. So, I mean, there's some good, some bad about everything. But as an individual, you made the decision that it wasn't for you anymore.
That's why I started my YouTube channel and globally and nationally. So there are always the door that I can open in my life. That's what I learned from that experience.
Okay, and then
I'm looking to raise awareness of the books that you guys are aiming to publish. I have a couple of places in mind, but I'm curious about what places you guys recommend.
Recommend about raising awareness about our books. Oh, you know, first of all, Absurd Alien. Alien, right? Okay, well, all right. Thank you for the question. Right now, I'm writing one of the books. It's my whole life right now. So I don't have an answer for that because we need the people around us to find their own networks and to inform people. The networks that we're part of already, obviously, we're going to try those. But we need it more that who can you connect to us? Who can you inform about what we're doing? So I don't know who's in your network, who you know, or whatever. But we have some people around us who they don't stop talking about us. I mean, I saw like Evan Appleton in the chat earlier. I mean, I think some of Evan Appleton's relatives probably think she joined a cult. I mean, because she talks about us all the time. I mean, she's telling everybody about us all the time, and she wants to donate to us all the time. And hey, don't, you know, it's enough. Okay, you don't have to drain your savings for us. But we have people around us that you need to find what you can do based on your own skills, based on your own network. Of course, Ingrid. Okay, I'm sorry, Ingrid, who manages our Instagram, wants to remind me to say she posted here. Follow us on Instagram. I should have been ready to post my. I have all of my social media. Okay, anyway. So, but main thing is that you know people that we don't know. You have connections that we cannot have. You can speak to those connections and those people in ways that I cannot. So first of all, just the people around you, let them know. And of course, follow us. Okay.
Really liked what you just said, Mr. Lartigue.
Okay, well, thank you. I don't know which part, but thank you for that.
Which part I want to know.
Exactly. So, all right.
And not any questions. So I think, is there anything you want to share? It's almost 1 hour.
Oh, okay. First, any more questions? I love to answer questions that people have. Are there any other questions that people have? Scroll down. If not, then we can go ahead and wrap up.
The part on how to help NK refugees.
Okay. Yes.
Could you break down what an English tutoring session?
Okay. Let me take Brent's question first. Okay. So break down what a tutoring session is like. There's not a particular breakdown. It's more about our approach. So our approach was that, okay, so North Korean refugees, we don't do any advertising for North Korean refugees. They have to find us. which means they're probably going to be really motivated at that moment to learn English. They will come to us, and then we would have an initial one-to-one session, 2-to-1, but the co-founders would have an interview, find out what is it that you're trying to achieve. Okay, what is your goal for learning English? What do you hope to accomplish? So first of all, we want them to think about that. Then we'd have a separate orientation where Eunhee would just outline about our organization and our approach. Then they would have a session where they could choose the tutors that they want to study with. And the volunteers basically have to commit about when they are available, and they should inform the refugees about what it is that they want to, about their particular skills, about teaching English. And then the refugees would choose. And they could choose as many people as they wanted in the room, depending on the people being available. So by the time they get to the first tutoring session, the refugee would have had at least 3 opportunities to think about what it is that they want to study. And then the volunteers need to be ready to respond to that. And now we don't have a set curriculum. We tried it, and the refugees were like, no, thank you, because they wanted to study what they wanted to study. Some of them want to just study like a textbook from their university. Some of them want just conversation. Some of them want grammar. Some of them want testing. So they had different things that they wanted to study. So our approach is, what is it that you're trying to accomplish, and how can we partner with you to make that happen? Now, we actually had 5 main groups of refugees who would apply to study with us. The first group were college students, and they're about 60% of the refugees who studied with us, college and graduate students. And then the second group, these were people who were like role models. So they're refugees who might have arrived like more like 15, 20, 25, 15, 20 years ago, but their English levels are not good, and they need to improve their English so that they can, take advantage of opportunities in a more global world. The third group were North Korean refugees who were employees. So they're working at a company, but they're struggling because faxes in English, emails in English, meetings in English, documents in English. And then the fourth group are the ones who are just looking for self-improvement. So maybe they're mothers who have children who are studying English, and they want to be able to help the children with their homework. And children are not exactly diplomatic. Mom, why don't you know that? Everybody knows that. So, but others just want to be able to travel, but whatever for self-improvement. And then the fifth group are the ones who want to speak out. They have stories to tell. Maybe they want to criticize North Korea, whatever the case may be. But so those are the main ones who study with us. So we don't have like a particular, like, you need to study like this. It's more of, this is our approach, and let's partner. The refugees have their role. They should prepare at least something for each class, and the volunteers should prepare something for each class, because we cannot put the burden on a volunteer to be prepared, a couple times a month for 90-minute sessions from scratch. So that's like a long answer to the question, but that's our main approach.
I have a question.
Okay, sure.
What was the motivation to make a decision to help North Korean defectors?
Okay. Well, this is like, I'm like on the couch now with a psychologist and answering the questions. So it's my life. So my focus is on educational freedom. I used to work at the Cato Institute as an education policy analyst. And there my focus was on how do you create opportunities for people to find the school or education program that will work best for their children. Okay? So even before that, I'm still connected with the Frederick Douglass Memorial and Historical Association, and I was on the board of trustees. And when I was a young man, I read all 3 of Frederick Douglass's books, start to finish, more than once, and just love what he talked about, respecting the individual, about the importance of individual freedom, importance of educating yourself. So by the time I got to Korea, I was working at the Center for Free Enterprise as the Director for International Relations, and I started meeting North Korean refugees. And I had no plans to do anything. I didn't know what I could do, but I started to learn that they had some particular struggles. I didn't know about, they get the freedom. Okay, everything must be fine. But I started to learn that's not true. But probably like the trigger point was Park Sun-young, that about 30 North Korean refugees had been captured in China in early 2012. And I started attending the rallies in front of the Chinese embassy saying, let them be free. Don't send them back to North Korea. And then Park Sun-young, she was a politician at that time, was holding a hunger strike in front of the Chinese embassy in Seoul. And I just remember looking at her and saying, you know what, I can do more. Just like researcher and talking is not enough. I need to do something. So I went over to her in her little tent and I said, you know what? I'm going to get involved and I'm going to make a difference. And she's like, oh, that's nice. And I'm like, no, I'm talking life-changing moment. I mean, she had no idea I had a career already like an activist and hosted a radio show and all those things in the USA. She had no idea. But I got involved and whatever, sending air balloons and CDs and DVDs to North Korea and getting involved. But so North Korean refugees I knew said, you know what you're doing is really great, but it doesn't help those of us who are here. And I'm like, so what do you need? English. Let's get you some English. So that was the starting point. And then I met Eunhee and we started talking about how we could work together. So that was like the real trigger point.
That's why Eunhee has changed in her life.
Oh,
Thank you for establishing the NGO for North Korean defectors.
Right. Okay, now, so we're like almost out of time. So let's go and give shorter answers. I'm talking to myself now. Let's give shorter answers.
Roger.
Okay.
Roger.
Mm-hmm.
When you are in the US, will you be available as a speaker?
Okay.
Of course. I have already business idea that I can apply in the US. It's gonna be part of the speech, so I cannot publish yet. But definitely I'm gonna be a speaker to share the awareness about North Korea. And my story is then about freedom and democracy. I have lots of things to share with all of you.
Great. Okay, Brent said, thank you for the long answer. And then Gabrielle, do you have to be a native English speaker in order to be a language teacher? No, we don't have requirements like that. We just hope, don't be like a, playboy kind of thing and treat it in a serious way. But it's not us making the decision about which volunteers. The refugees choose. And because our process that we hope to bring back, if we can raise money, everybody, the process is that the refugees would choose as many of the volunteers as they wanted. So they choose some person who's a native speaker. Plenty of second language speakers also joined us. In our history, we had more than 1,000 volunteers tutors, mentors, speech coaches. Only about 7 or 8 did not get chosen. And each case they did not get chosen, something like, I'm only available on Thursdays, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., Gangnam Station, exit 11. Okay, so just not available. So not really attractive for someone that wants to study with you. But I mean, and he was a nice guy. He wanted to help. He was a businessman. He's really busy. And I'll say, why don't you donate instead? But he wanted to teach, but he didn't get chosen. I mean, accomplished person, incredible background, but he didn't get chosen just because he wasn't available. So availability, as I like to say, actually they say it in sports, part of your ability is your availability. Okay, just being available is part of your qualifications. So if you can make time, then it doesn't matter about second language. So, okay, I said I would get shorter answers. Okay, Eunhee, keep us updated on your fundraiser. And if you need more, I'm sure you can raise more. Yes, she needs more. So I think she said she's like 1,800 short. So every donation matters, everybody. I feel something similar to what you feel, Mr. Lartigue, after meeting MP. I'll do my best to learn Korean, develop myself as an adult. Okay, now I would just say that, because someone mentioned it earlier, you don't have to be a Korean speaker in order to tutor a North Korean refugee. So at least in our early history, we didn't have requirements. We said, please, let's just use English. It just seemed to make sense. But around 2017, Eunhee Lee and I both quit our full-time jobs to focus on this. And with Eunhee being more available, she could have more in-depth discussions with the students coming to us. And we kept hearing from them that they want the tutors to only use English. Okay, now it happens, some people still use Korean, but we tried to set the culture that is English only because there's some students who really wanted that. Some want a little Korean mixed in, and we understand that. But as an organization, our approach is English only, and we hear from so many refugees that they prefer that.
Oh yeah, if I add a little bit based on my experience, first time when I was ABC level, it was very helpful to speak in Korean with my tutor a little bit. But you know, if I decided not to use Korean, it's much better to help North Koreans not to use Korean, because even though I don't understand, I didn't understand English. If I hear and then more than 10 times, next time when I had a meeting with my tutor, I can understand. You know, that's a perfect way to learn English.
Yeah, so that was 2015, before we had like our, you know, before we became an official organization. But after we became an official organization, so if we had 10 refugees come in, okay, all right. So, okay, so we started to hear from so many refugees that the tutors keep trying to use Korean with me. And 90% of them were saying that they want English only. There's always some, they're okay with, you know, a little Korean. But we started to hear from more refugees. I mean, we had one who called us one day and she said, she asked Eunhee, are my tutors going to quit? And we're like, what are you talking about? And she said, well, my English is at such a low level. I'm afraid that my tutors are just so bored trying to teach me. So if they want to use Korean, it's okay. But we asked, do you want them to use Korean? No, I want English only. And we kept hearing that from so many students that were like, you know what, we're just going to go English only from now. But we, you know, we allowed it in the past. We allowed bilingual instruction. We allowed all kinds of things. But we kept hearing from people that they didn't want it. So then we just said, okay, from now on, English only, no exceptions. Okay. And then what's a good cause? I don't know. Okay, yeah. So those of you who don't know Korean, you're qualified. Okay.
Of course. So welcome to FSI.
Right. You're qualified. Okay. All right. I think that might be it for questions. Final question. Anybody? Anything burning? Anything you really want to ask?
Take care, you guys, and
all
enjoy
right.
the rest of your weekend
Okay.
and Chuseok, and
Yes.
we might spend Chuseok together.
I'm going to be at the office. I'm going to be working.
I will come to bother you. Actually, guys, if I announce my fundraising again, I was raised $4,200 with 34 donors, including Casey Lartigue. This is he donated now PayPal. Thank you very much. And if I mentioned about that part, how much I'm so grateful to alive in this world, people with the people like you. And my goal to the cost is for agency is $6,000, so $1,800 more. But the settlement fee, I can figure out. I can work and you know, spend the save my money and from my work. And I have a business idea to share with all of you if I'm ready. So yeah, I'm so excited to go to United States. And thank you so much.
And then I'll just say thank you everyone who signed on. I have to say I'm writing a book now, and the title of the book, just go on Facebook, Green Light to Freedom, Green Light to Freedom, and you can pre-order the book. Please do it. It really encourages my co-author. And of course, support FSI. Okay, I think that question is for you. When is your book coming out?
I think you.
Okay, well, the book that I'm writing is coming out February 2022, but I'm wondering when your book is coming out. Okay.
My book.
That's okay,
actually, no pressure. But I was thinking about to write my story, but for me, instead of just writing my past, what I have been experienced with the dictatorship and communism, I want to develop my life more in a professional way and then be successful and then better than ordinary people. And then I want to write my story and then add my successful story and inspire all the young generations who live in the free country, with the given freedom. They never thought that how precious freedom is. That's my plan. So I cannot not give you answer when, but one day I will bring all the stories what I have been through to make my life better and reach my goal, vision, to make a better world. And I think one question is that I think someone asked me from my internship stuff. Probably having to check. I don't know.
Okay. All right. And then I just posted a link to the book. I don't know if it showed up or not. Green Light to Freedom, but okay.
Yeah,
And
is there any?
That's it. Thank you so much.
announcement?
Thank you so much. FSI21.org, FSI21.org, or our old website, lovetnkr.org. And yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Thank you for inviting me. I feel so special.
No, I mean it's a thank you for Eunhee to organize this live streaming. And lastly, I want to share my next plan with the my YouTube channel, because all of you might wonder whether I'm gonna post other stories about North Korea or I'm gonna continuously to the YouTube channel. So I wanna say it's a little bit longer. I met people who knows me in the North Korea. Actually, before I escaped, I lived with them, but they escaped as well. And then one of the family members contacted me by Facebook and then let me know they arrived in South Korea, and then they started living life in South Korea again. And I was just so happy to meet them. And so 1 month ago, I went to the south part of South Korea to meet them that I lived with in the Yangon province before I escaped. Two feelings. One, I was so happy that I met them in South Korea. But second one was anxiety and sadness, because what we talked about, it's about the past and about my family members and other things. And it brought me all the loneliness. And I think about I cannot meet my family members until the Korea is unified. And they talked about me. My dad passed away with the stomach cancer, and how much he wanted to come to South Korea. But I grew up with my grandparents, and I never had a chance to have attachment with my dad. So when I was in North Korea, I didn't have much the feeling towards my dad. But since I met them and hear about my dad, I was just so sad that I cannot even call him and cannot give him the chance to come to South Korea. So I'm struggling with the past and to figure out the way not to stay in the past, which is bring me lots of sadness stories. So I need time to be alone a little bit, and I have to graduate university completely as well. So many things are going on my shoulder. Someone who is live without any family members. But I'm sure I'm gonna do live streaming like this once a month or so. And also I'm gonna update my process to my donors, because I already emailed to every donors, and I will keep updating for you guys. And I'm so happy that we talked about our development. And also I'm very grateful that you guys joined in this live streaming. Yeah.
Great, thank you.
Okay, thank you for sharing all the good work and contributions with my viewers. And hopefully you have a wonderful weekend. And I will update. Bye, guys. Be safe. Thank you, Casey.